Tin Leopards. I've missed you so much. So I thought that Catalina would teach you how to paint this leopard painting that she just finished. Okay, she didn't do that, just kidding. All right, so I'm going to teach you how to use the grid method. In a nutshell, the grid method is when you take a reference photo and you draw a grid over it and use the same ratio and draw a grid on your canvas or a piece of paper. What I did was I did 1-inch squares on my reference photo and 2-inch squares on my canvas. If you don't have a canvas or paint at home, you could use this method for a drawing as well. So any art supplies that you have will work. You'll need a reference photo, something to draw on, a pencil with an eraser, and a ruler. Optional items are a permanent marker and a white pencil. Then you can see what shows up better on your reference image. I'm going to make 1-inch marks across the top of the photograph using the white pencil because the white pencil shows up better than the pencil and the permanent marker on my photograph. I'm also going to mark the bottom at 1 inch as well. It's important to mark both the top and the bottom so that when you connect the two dots, you have a straight line. Now I'm gridding off both sides of the image at 1 inch. So I'm doing the same measuring on the side where you want to mark 1 inch on both sides and connect the lines so that you have 1-inch squares. Then what I'm doing is I'm marking both sides of the surface that I want to draw or paint on, and I'm making those boxes 2 inches because they're twice as large. My ruler is a little too short to reach the top part, which is why I used something else to connect the two lines. Then I'm looking at the boxes on the photograph and looking at the same box on the drawing to match what I'm drawing. So I'm making it larger and fitting it into the boxes. I'm only looking at one box at a time, and I'm working from the top left corner, working my way down so that I don't smudge my drawing as I'm moving across. I'm also outlining the leopard in the photograph, which is helping me figure out where the lines need to be on my canvas. Don't forget to draw lightly with your pencil so that if you make any mistakes, they are easier to erase. In this video, I'm drawing a little darker than I would if I was not recording this for you, so I recommend to draw lighter than what I'm doing. If you want to, you can outline your drawing with a permanent marker when you finish. After the permanent marker is dry, make sure to erase the grid lines. You can still see some of my grid lines because I didn't draw light enough with my pencil because I wanted to make sure that you could see it in the video. So again, remember to draw lightly with your pencil so that it is easy to erase. If you choose to do a painting similar to mine, I am using the primary colors blue, red, yellow, and I'm also using white and black paint. However, you can use different colors if you'd like, but you can make all the colors that I've used in this painting with the primary colors and black and white. So the color of the leopard is yellow and red mixed together, making the secondary color orange, but that's a little too bright. So I want to add white to create a lighter value of this color. Adding white to a color is called a tint. The value is the lightness or darkness of a color. I'll be painting the entire leopard with this color before adding more details. Now I'm adding a little more white to add some highlights on the leopard by looking at the photograph and painting the areas that look a little lighter on the leopard with that lighter color. Now I'm going to make a darker color. What I'm doing is I added a little more red and also a tiny bit of blue to make this darker color. Adding a little more blue to make it even darker. And all I'm doing is I'm looking at the photograph and adding in the colors where I see them in the photograph. I'm going to paint the entire background green To make green, you use the primary colors blue and yellow to create the secondary color green. I'm also painting the edge of my canvas so that when I'm finished, my painting wraps onto the side of the canvas and I don't need to frame it. I'm doing one color green, and later on I'll add a few different color greens when that background is dry. To create brown, I mixed orange and blue together, which was a little too dark, and then I added some white to make this brown color. How do you make orange? By mixing red and yellow together. Here are a few color combinations that you can use to make brown. You can always add white to make it lighter. I'm adding a few more details onto the leopard, some black on the nose and the mouth, and touching up the eyes before I begin with the spots. Let's look at the difference between the pattern on a cheetah, a leopard, and a jaguar. Cheetahs have spots that are evenly dispersed throughout their body. The spots on a leopard are called rosettes. They are uneven circles or horseshoes, whereas a jaguar has a similar shape, but they also have spots within the rosettes. Make sure you add any final details you want to the orange color of the leopard before doing your spots. You can do the spots with a permanent marker or with paint. I chose to use paint. Remember, the rosettes on a leopard are uneven circles, so don't worry if all your spots don't look the same. Look at the photograph one section at a time to decide where your spots belong on your leopard. And lastly, I'm going to add some more details to the background with the leaves. I'm going to have a variety of different color greens by adding more yellow, more blue, more white. So I have different color greens for the background. My background does not have a lot of details. It's just different patches of colors of different greens. Now, your leopard doesn't even have to be yellow. You don't even have to use this photograph. You don't even need to do a leopard. I'm just showing you a new method that you can use for drawing or painting to create something that you might not have thought you could do before. I would love to see what you've created. Please share your artwork in the comments below. I can't wait to see you again, Lincoln Leopards. Please stay safe and creative.